house at the Kreun in Kortrijk. The Flemish Music Centre welcomes l'Orchestre International du Vetex, a brass band that makes you want to dance like there's no tomorrow. The Vitex performs its third studio album, Total Tajine, a festive cocktail of different styles.
On one hand, you have a more German, British influenced musical scene here in Belgium. In France, you have a more Latin influenced scene. And Vitex also tries to combine those two influences in its music. So you will hear rumba, you will hear some Balkan influences. There is also some reggae. And what we also want to show to the audience is that you don't have to stick into one particular musical style, but that you can also cross those borders, those musical styles.
Crossing borders. That has been the mission of the Vitex since it started as a European project in 2004. Not only by mixing music styles, but also by bringing together musicians from different regions. On stage, you'll find French, Flemish and Walloons, an enriching experience.
When we play on stage, we try to explain people, to the public, that we are an international band with people from France and Belgium. And to explain that there is no problem, we can work together, we can have fun together, this is really not a problem. Our music is something like, okay, we want to cross the borders, but we also want to erase the concept of borders. It's simple like that.
Yeah, because it's stupid. On music mind of view, you don't need borders. It's impossible if you play music that you think in borders. You have to play music, and if somebody is playing from England with you, or from Germany or from Bosnia, they all playing music. They all want to do the same thing. So that's the nice thing about playing music.
But these musicians are not naive. Different cultures can also clash.
First of all, it's a fact that we play a different language. People coming from Flanders speak Flemish, whereas people coming from Wallonia in the north of France, they speak French. So there is this difference in language. When you are touring, for instance, a lot during 1 or 2 weeks and you're living together in a bus, or you have to play together, you have to live together for a whole day, it's not always easy to talk another language. So sometimes it creates a kind of tension. On the other hand, the fact that we speak two different languages, it's also unique in the way that it's a kind of obligation to try to communicate with the other in another language. So you are obliged to try to speak another language to live together.
To make the international cocktail even tastier, the Vitex Orchestra works with guest musicians from other countries, such as Jelena Miluzic. Jelena lives in Berlin, but grew up in Bosnia during the Balkan War. She experienced firsthand how borders can disrupt societies.
During the war in Bosnia, I was a refugee in Serbia, then in Canada, then I came back. So basically, I mean, I also traveled and met people from all over the world and realized that it really doesn't matter where we come from and which color we are. It really matters that we're just all people, vulnerable, simple people, nothing else. So for me it is actually desirable to be involved in a project where people come from a different sides or from different sides of the borders, because they bring something new, they bring something interesting, something different, something exotic, or something that we learn from each other that way. And the borders in that sense don't exist. Music really was, I think, is the only medium that can cross all borders, and the people can understand. They don't have to have the education, they don't have to understand the language, depending on what kind of music it is, you know, but they can feel it, and I think the music is the best way to cross borders.